Hello, hello, hello to everyone. You caught us burping and drinking and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Hello to everyone who is joining. Hello to everyone who's going to join. I really appreciate it. And I am here back with my dear friend, Auntie Anita. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm refreshed and renewed from my break.
You didn't really take no real break there. You didn't take no
So
real
that's what's important. I'm
break.
refreshed and renewed.
Okay. Well, I'm
Yep.
glad to hear that. I'm definitely glad to
Hmm.
hear that. Let me get myself on. I try to make sure that I'm on my own channel here so I can
Okay.
give myself another view and all that kind of stuff. So,
Mhm.
so how long was your break and all that? How long was your break?
About 3 months. About 3 months.
Oh wow, okay.
I would tippy toe on Instagram or YouTube every now and again, but for the most part, I was not. I was not on social media like that, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you said you were refreshed. Um, do you think that you think that everyone should take a break, or what's your thoughts about that?
I made the mistake of working hard every day from January 1st to October 1st. That was a mistake. That's why I had to take the last 3 years, 3 months of the year off. I should have taken like little breaks throughout the year. That was the mistake I made. I literally created content or wrote something or email, whatever. I did that like 9 months straight, and I shouldn't have done that. So this year, every month, I will take a little mini break. Let's say every month. I won't do that. So that way I don't need 3 months.
Okay, that's a good idea. Hold on, I
Okay.
gotta adjust my lighting here. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, all right. Yeah, that's a good idea. I probably should do that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. All right, let's say
Okay.
hello to some people here.
Yep.
So Garland says, "Is this podcast going to start with the theme song from Friends?"
Okay.
We should have did that, right?
Yeah.
Hello to you, Garland. Hello to Najaj. Jeez. Naja J. Hello to
Okay.
you. I might be high vibe. You got to wait and see.
Okay.
Are we
Hmm.
clickbaiting us with an Obama divorce rumor?
Hmm.
LOL high vibe. Hello to you, Rhonda. Hello to Sassy Red Cutie.
Hmm.
Violi. Hey, Dr. Ellen, Auntie Anita. Good evening, Rhonda. Uh, let's see. Salute Dr. Guest, Dr. L Guest, and all that.
Hmm.
To you, Mr. Stu. Y
Okay.
squared. Good evening. He's playing with our emotions. LOL. I might be. I might be high vibe. I might be.
Okay.
All right. So the people who don't know you, introduce yourself if you would.
So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anita Stoudmeyer. I am a licensed professional counselor, and I am also the founder of Better Love Movement. That is my platform over on Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel, and that is the name of my coaching company. So, I offer coaching to men, women, and couples, dating and relationship coaching. We talk about all things dating and relationships.
Cool. And that's perfect for tonight because we're going to talk about
Mhm.
relationship that
Mm.
might be going through some stuff there. Hello to you, Miles.
Mhm.
Hello to Diedrich. Hello all. So let's see. So we're going to start off with a couple of videos, a couple warm up videos. When I'm about to log off, I don't know if this happens to you, but when I'm about to log off, I got the most amount of people that are watching. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
y'all got to start coming earlier.
I know.
Y'all got to start coming early. You
Yep.
can't be running on CPT. So
Yep.
that's why we gotta do these videos to get y'all in here and all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff, right? So I
Yep.
sent y'all plenty of notice.
Mhm.
Good evening, everyone from snowy Carolina. It's
Mhm.
freezing here. I'm up the street from y'all in Connecticut, so
Mm.
it is freezing here.
Yep.
Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, we're gonna get y'all off of CPT here. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So,
Tell them
good
it
evening.
started. Tell them it started 6, and then when they show
I
up at
should do that, right?
7:30,
I should do that.
you be like, "Now the show is starting."
Yeah, we're just getting warmed up.
Right. Yep.
Snowy Houston. It's snowing in Houston.
Ooh, Lord.
Jeez. Wow.
Mm,
All right. Smash that like button. Yes, please make sure you hit the like button. If you are not subscribed, make sure that
that's
you
right.
subscribe to myself and to Auntie Anita on Better Love Movement.
Yep.
All right. All right. So a couple of videos here to kind of get us warmed up. I did record these, so we shouldn't have any lagging issues. I had to go
Okay.
out and buy all new equipment. Y'all, listen, hit me with the cash apps too. There, I
Yeah.
don't like begging for that, but I had to buy all new equipment because I'm like, what's up
Okay.
with my kind of connection? So I called up the
Yeah.
company. They're like, oh, listen, your equipment's kind of old, so it can't push the speeds. So the
Right.
last 3 days, I had to go get this new wire. Go get. So y'all hit me
Mhm.
with the cash app.
Mhm.
In the ATL last evening. Man, it's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. Woo. Mm.
Yeah, such an alarm. All right. So let's see. Here we go. Here, a couple of videos for us. Couple of funny ones, and then we'll get
Nah,
to
because
it.
I'm seeing all these dudes online talking about soft guy era this, soft guy era that. Y'all want girls to pay for stuff. And honestly, bro, you type of dudes, bro, is damn right. It's about time. Personally, if you ask me, it couldn't have been said better. I'm just relieved to know that it ain't just me. You want to come here asking me what I got to offer, what I bring to the table. Baby, I am the table. And it's not the question of do I got money. Obviously, but I want yours. After we speaking our mind, now we sassy, now we acting zesty. What y'all be saying? And did. Don't care. I'm gonna put your ass to work. I'm looking for the big ballers, okay? When that bill comes to the table, don't even look in my direction. It's giving broke girl. And baby, if that's the case, that's fine. Just say that. No judgment, but next caller. I'm sorry, boo. No money on your dunion. It's gotta go. At this point, I'm not even answering the call unless I get a cash out first. Like, what? Where's my money for my haircut? You want me to pump the gas? I forgot my wallet from me, my favorite line. And don't ask me to take out the trash. Baby, I'm in Margella's. This ain't no soft boy era. This is soft boy forever. What are you talking about? Nah, because I'm seeing.
Mm.
That's how we do it. That's how
Okay.
we do it. Hello to you, Gail. It's crazy here. Hello to you. Uh, hello, Nicole R from Louisiana.
Mhm.
Sound familiar? Sound familiar? What
Lord.
are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Auntie?
You see, that's a young man. That's a young
Mm.
man, and so that's what young men are doing. So I don't have any thoughts on it. That's a young man. I feel sorry for these young ladies. So no, thank you.
I played the show. I played what I did a show Monday, right? Showing that with the balloon pop, a lot of these sisters out, I mean, a lot of the people over 35 are doing the same crazy nonsense.
Mm,
You think it's all you think this brother's looking for a purse.
yeah. Yep.
He sounds like a 12-year-old
No,
year old.
thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. That's a bit much for me. No,
Yeah.
but I think it's just a fad. I think it's just a fad. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, so that's fine. Let them do
Said he
that.
sounds like the tuck sweater from the balloon pop. Did you see the balloon pop? Did you watch the last, well, not, I don't know if it was the last one, but the
Yeah,
mature
I
one?
no longer watch it. I don't find the content to be helpful at all. So I
Oh, it's
no
definitely
longer
not.
watch it and I no longer give commentary on it. I can't tell you the
Okay.
last time I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I try not to watch it too, but someone
Yeah.
sent it to me, and then we watched basically the whole show,
Right.
and it was very enlightening, particularly for the people who are in their 40s, etc.
Mhm.
And but the last guy really bothered me because of the way he talked to this young lady after the show. But
Mm.
I mean, it was just really, really bothersome. All right, let's see. We continue on with another comical one here.
Mm.
Hey, Toby.
Hey,
Do you want to get something to eat?
nah, I already got food.
You ate without me?
What?
You didn't think about me when you
Has some stuff where he just immediately cuts off any kind of foolishness, and
Yeah. Yeah.
there was one he did. I couldn't find it, but it was on his channel there. It was hilarious. Just some woman he was talking to, same thing. He pretends he's making a phone call, but it's really a Roku. I mean, you could at
Yeah.
least use a real phone,
Right, right.
but it's it was somebody just started. I can't remember what it was, but it was so funny. And what it was, he just started an argument. He's like, "Listen, I'm just done. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about that kind of stuff." So,
Yep.
yeah. So he needs a
Yep.
timeout. Yeah, yeah,
No, I 100% agreed. I think I'm in that era as well. I just can't. I can't. Like,
yeah,
no. So
yeah.
I don't blame him. Like, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
that's Mr. Stu 97 says Balloon Pop was a skit on SNL. Shout out to the homegirl. That's how you know the show has officially made it. Yeah, it made it on
yeah.
SNL. I don't know if you saw that with Dave
I did
Chappelle.
see that.
Yeah.
Listen, I played it, and then they blocked the video. They blocked the
Oh,
video, so I
yeah.
had to go in
Yeah.
there and clip it out. So if you watch the
Yep.
video
Yep.
from the other day, like I had to cut that out. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another reason too. I didn't realize, the first guy that I played with the military uniform on, he had some music playing in the background. I might have to
Mhm.
go in there and clip that out now too
Yep.
because I didn't hear it
Yep.
before. So
Yep.
I'm going to be very, very cautious about that stuff because it messes with your money. So
Yep.
again, y'all hit the cash
Yep.
apps. I don't beg y'all for a lot all the time,
You're like, come on now.
but yeah, come on now with the cash apps here. Let's see here. Where am I at with the cash apps? Here we go. All right. All right.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll continue on here. Couple more videos here while y'all still strolling in. 48 people watching. I don't know where my likes are at, but y'all
Mhm.
hit the like button on your way in.
Okay.
Garland says, what do you think about the president's proposal to mandate that whoever has to pay the child support gets the child support income tax credit? I absolutely 100% agree with that. I've
I
always
do
thought that was
too.
bizarre.
I
I've
do too.
always thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
The one you're receiving it and you get to claim the kid.
Exactly. I agree. So it's
I've always thought that was crazy. So
I agree.
yeah,
And even in my divorce settlement, we split. We would split or we would do year on, year off. Like we would split, especially, once I was working full time, we would split it or we would do year on, year. There has to be some way to make it more equitable, right? There
yeah,
should be some way to make it more equitable.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I agree. So either you're able to put the child support on your taxes or you get the child tax credit, however that
It was
goes,
just
just to make it more equitable. Right.
the payer was always just it's just
Right.
lost money. You paid
Right.
$20,000 in income. I mean,
Yep.
that's kicked out. It was nothing.
Right.
That was always crazy. So
Yeah.
thank you,
So that
Rhonda. Hit the
that needs
15,
to
hit the
change.
likes, y'all. Yeah, yeah. I agree with alternating years that both are working full time. Yeah.
Yep.
Couple more videos here. While
Hmm.
y'all still strolling in, 61 people here. Where we at with the likes? Where we at with the likes? Rhonda is on y'all, so
Yeah.
keep on it. I'm about to make her a moderator. She's pretty much
See?
here pretty often. Let me see if I could
Hmm.
do that now. Actually, let me see if I could do that now. Make you a moderator. Here.
Hmm.
I don't know if I can do that. Add as moderator. There you go. Manage moderator. Words. Can review and remove chat messages. Right. Can manage blocked words and manage it. Also has capabilities of standard monitors. I gotta
Okay.
read this. I gotta read this, right? Make sure I'm doing the
Yeah.
right thing here. All right, there you go, Rhonda. You're a moderator now. Thank you so much.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. It's an unpaid position too. And listen, if
Yep.
I start making some money, if you give me some cash as Rhonda, I'll send you some of that. So
Yeah. There you go.
all right, go
There you
Rhonda.
go.
Okay. She's been pretty faithful. So I had some other people on
Good.
mine too. So all right. Let's see, a couple more videos here, and then we'll get to the main event for the evening.
I'm aware that I'm not a man and I will never be a man. However, I'm not willing to debate what I'm about to say. So I low-key feel like now that I've healed and I look at relationships differently, men get the short end of the stick because you're not allowed to be sensitive, but how dare you not talk to me about how you feeling? Don't be emotionally constipated, but if you tell me too much how you really feeling, then I don't believe that you're man enough for me. I don't want you to be this superhuman all the time, but you can't take that S off your chest. Do not sit the world down off of your shoulders around me because I'm not willing to pick it up and help shoulder it. Like, you can't have boundaries. You can't have standards. You can't require a woman bring something to the table that you set before she was even in the picture. You're not allowed to have a broken heart. You're not allowed to be afraid of love. You're not allowed to have walls. You're not allowed to be vulnerable. There are so many things that the world will not allow you to do, but they also expect you to do the same thing. You know what I mean? The world would have you to believe that you're. I'm aware that I'm not a man and I will never be a man. However, I'm not willing to debate what I'm about to say.
Mm.
What are your thoughts about that one? What are your thoughts about that one?
I want everyone to remember that there is a there how can I put this? There's societal norms, there's cultural, the culture is always shifting. The culture is always shifting depending on the year, depending on what's going on in the world. And to some extent, each person has to decide for themselves, like how they're going to show up, how they're going to be. The thing that irritates me the most about these culture wars, gender war, all this different stuff is I'm like, are people really that malleable? Are people really that flexible in who they are and what they believe? Like, that's not me. I've been this way from coming out the womb till now, right? I'm not interested in doing what everybody else is doing. And I think people've got to wake up to that, okay, because a lot of men have told me that, well, the culture raises us to be this way, or the culture says we can't cry, the culture says this or that. Okay, but at some point, you have to individuate. You have to figure out, like, who are you? Who are you going to be? What works for you? And yeah, I get it. Like, society is teaching you all these different things, but at some point, you have to figure out what works for you. So I am not a very popular female in the sense of I speak very directly. I tell people exactly what's on my mind. I advocate for myself. Um, I know how to negotiate. I've been labeled the B word, many times depending on, the season that I'm in. But I've kind of made up my mind that that's who I'm going to be. So, yeah, I'm not going to take it on the chin or stay quiet or cry about it. I'm going to advocate for myself. I'm going to be direct. I'm going to speak up. And that's my message to people in general. Like, at some point, you got to figure out who you are and who you want to be, and stop doing what the culture is telling you to do or who you're supposed to be, right? So I've even had people push back on me about masculine and feminine. And I say, okay, then I want you to figure out what is masculine. What is masculine to you? Now, I want you to understand that if you think, you know, um, a woman taking care of you is masculine, right? So let's say a man said that. Well, I think a woman taking care of me is masculine. Okay, but at some point, the woman you're going to be with has to agree with that. So that's the only thing I would say about that is, yeah, you can believe that. You most certainly can believe that. But if no one wants to date you because of that belief, now you got to ask yourself, wait a minute. Like, I can't seem to find a woman that shares that belief. So that's the only thing I would say about that. But yeah.
That's an interesting concept because I have the same philosophy that it doesn't really matter. This whole, particularly when it comes to this whole 50-50 conversation,
Hmm.
and who's paying the bills. And it's always like, okay, well, the ladies are like, okay, this is what I am, this is what I want, this is what I want to be, and this is the type of man. But I always say, and then this idea about what redefining masculinity. Let me put it that way. People want to redefine masculinity.
Yeah.
We want to get away from the brutish, gruntish guys from the past. Well, I'm like, okay, but you have to want that guy, whatever type of guy that it is, right?
Yeah.
I told this before that I went on to one of the colleges that I teach at. They do this presentation, so they had this lady there who was I don't know if she would call herself a feminist, but she definitely was spitting that type of rhetoric.
Hmm.
And she was saying that she wants, an equality of basis where there's an equal number of men doing a woman's job, and where it's not looked at, or a woman or society doesn't look down on the men who are stay at home and wearing aprons and cooking and changing diapers and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, that's cool. You can say that we're at a college campus. You can say that all you want. But the truth of the matter is, it matters when people go home and what type of man they want to go home to.
That's it.
That's what really, really matters. All
Yeah.
this theory sounds great,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. And I sent her, she gave me a card. I sent her an email. I don't know if she
Hmm.
got it or not, but that's just not gonna fly. It's just not gonna fly. You don't want those kind of men.
But guess
A
what?
decent. A
But
decent
guess
woman doesn't want that type of man.
but guess what? I am meeting more and more women that are open to the stay-at-home dad or are open to,
Okay.
they're open to that. And again, then they need to match together. I agree with you. Most women don't want that. I agree. But I'm starting to see more and more women that are open to that. They're
Okay,
just
open
like,
to it and wanting it too. Are they open to it because they can't find somebody who's going to do whatever? Are they just
right,
okay? Let me just open that, or is that really what they want? And is it really going to be what they want in 2 years, 3 years when that novelty wears off, and
right,
you got to come home and this guy's not doing the masculine presenting things?
right, right. So we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty specific about what I want. And I, can be a strong person. I know I need a very strong man. Um, so yeah, but I want people to figure out what works for them. I've figured out what works for me and what makes me happy, and that is, being someone who's strong, someone who's going to speak their mind for the most part. And that may not work for every man, but there are men out there that do love that. They do enjoy that. They do enjoy a woman who's okay, she knows what she wants. She's strong, she's confident, she's telling me that, and I appreciate that. So, and to some extent is pretty logical or rational. So, like I said, I've made up my mind that that's how I'm going to be. I
Yoli's
just want
asking a good question here. Is that those women who want to be in control? Do you think that's the case?
it could be, it very well could be, for sure. Very well could be, but I'm coming across those women more and more where they're either dating men who are much younger than them, don't have as much as them. Yeah, so that very well could be the case. That's their way of controlling the situation.
So Rhonda started a cascade of moderators. Some people have been following me for a little bit. So I
Okay.
added HJ as a moderator, Miles as
Okay.
moderator,
There you go.
High Vibe as a moderator. Congratulations to all y'all. All right.
Yep.
You guys are so Rhonda's asking a question. I worked with women
Oh.
who had to stay at home men. And I'm curious as to what they
Mm.
say when they're at lunch with the girls and what
Yeah.
do they really think about that guy. That's what I'm curious about.
Mm.
All right, a couple
Mm.
more videos here, then we'll get to the main attraction. More people are still trickling in. 86 people watching.
All
I don't
right.
know what's the like count at. So here we go. Another funny one for us.
Men don't know everything, but by golly, you should be able to understand us women by now. This is the mind of a woman with an attitude. Leave me the fuck alone, but don't leave out this house. Nigga, I'm not hungry, but you better bring me something to eat. No, I got an attitude. I'm not fucking you right now. But that don't mean you can't fuck me. How the fuck you just gonna start talking to me like nothing ever happened? I'm not fucking listening, but keep talking. No, money can't buy happiness, but I'm gonna be a chipper bitch if I get a gift. I don't want you near me. But follow me around until I start fighting you. Don't hit my phone. Don't hit my fucking phone. If I don't get a text, it's over. I told you can go out with your niggas. Bye, go ahead. But when they asked you, did you want to go? You should have said no. I told you I'm not going away with you. I'm not going. No, stop asking me. Now go start the car up. What don't you understand? I don't want no head from you. I don't want you to eat my pussy. But she's her own person, so you gotta have that conversation with her. Moral of the story, do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Do the opposite, y'all. Supposed to know this. We got to know this.
Walking contradiction. That is every woman. She is a walking contradiction. So yeah,
You would
I
be
tell
surprised how
people,
many.
yeah,
Go ahead.
accept it. Accept it. Women are a walking contradiction.
That's
Mm,
too bad. That's
yeah.
too bad. All right, let me see a couple. Let me see here. What else? I don't.
Sport to watch.
Oh, there's another funny one for us here.
Mhm.
Well, let's see if y'all think it's funny.
Okay.
Favorite.
Reason that women don't like being on top is because we look better missionary. You see this? Beautiful. Gorgeous. No filter. This right here? What? Can you vision it? Now look at this shit.
Oh God.
What is this?
Oh
Who is
Lord.
this? That's not even the same woman from before.
Ooh.
Let me stop my mom on here.
Oh, Lord.
So, if you saw, she put her hand across her neck. We talked about that before, right? I mean,
Yep.
these
Yep.
ladies want to be choked. They want to be choked out. They want to be
Yeah,
choked. They
no,
want to be choked out.
I can't even relate. I cannot. No,
Yeah.
thanks.
All right. Let's
Oh
see.
Lord.
I
Because
think.
men
Here's all right. It's a couple more serious ones here for us here.
Okay.
because men are not looking for anything serious. That's just my opinion. And with that, because guys aren't looking for anything serious, and in my opinion, there are more women looking to settle down, looking for something serious. And I feel like the majority of men are not looking for those type of things, which is why there's an imbalance in the dating pool. We have all these women like, I want my husband, I want to get married, I want to be a mom, I want to, lock it down. And then the men in the pool are like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm still trying to be outside. I want to date multiple people, or they're just looking to hook up. They want to have a situationship. So it's no balance. So you see a lot of women complaining that the men in the dating pool, they're not attracting the type of men that they're looking for because men are not looking for anything serious. That's just my opinion. And
I agree. I agree with that. And so I keep telling women, like, why are you keep trying to get something from men that men don't want to give? Like, you keep trying to get something from men that they don't want to give you. That's why I have officially announced that this is the year of the girlfriend. This is the year where you delete all your apps, you start making female friends, you start joining female groups, you start going on girls trips or going to brunch, going to church, you start doing things with your girls. Focus on yourself, focus on your girlfriend relationships and really get good at those relationships and give these other things a break. Yeah, they keep trying to get something from men that men don't want to give them. So no, and then can I be honest? Men, a lot of men have just checked out. They're not looking for anything. They're not looking for even sex or dates. They're just checked out. They are checked out. So I'm not asking women to check out. I just want them to focus on other things other than men.
Is that whole focusing on other things? Would you consider that to be pink pill? Are you aware of that
No,
whole phenomenon? No.
I wouldn't. Now, I do believe in decentering men, and I've heard that expression, the pink pill, right? Decentering men and all of that. But that simply means it's not about hating men. It's not about not wanting to partner with a man, but it is saying, I am the main character in this life of mine. And so I'm going to act like it. I'm going to embody that main character energy. And so sometimes there's a man in the scene and sometimes there's not. And yet the movie continues. The movie goes on. The movie is interesting. It has a plot. It has all these things. So that's what I want women to do. That a man doesn't have to be in every scene for the movie to be interesting. So no, you have a whole entire life. Why don't you develop your whole entire life? That's what I want to see women do.
Mm,
That's it.
very good.
And I say, don't dress for the male gaze. Don't go out with the intention of maybe there are men there. No, I go out to places and I don't even see the men. I don't even see the men. I see the waiter. I see the food. I see my girls. That's it. I'm
Okay, but
not
that is that
checking for
energy giving
anybody.
off? Is that energy giving off? Don't approach me.
It doesn't matter. This is the year of the girlfriend. Like,
Okay.
I'm not interested, either way. I'm focused on my girls. This year, I'm focused on my female relationships. I'm focused on my family. I'm focused on my children. I'm focused on my work and my colleagues. I'm not focused on men. So, yeah, if they don't approach, that's okay because this is not their year.
And if they do approach,
I'm flattered, I'm going to appreciate it and I'm going to be flattered, but I'm going to let them know this is the year of the girlfriend. This is the year where I focus on, developing myself in my life. That's it. I'm not going to take them up on their offer. They'd have to have a pretty strong offer for me to go in that direction.
okay,
And most men don't. Can I be honest? Most men don't want nothing. They don't want nothing. No, I'm good.
okay, all right. I hear you.
Yeah.
A couple of people joined. Let me say thank you to Garland, XX3. Thank you so much for that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Mhm.
I am not open to. Well, I'm gonna this whole choking thing, man. I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
It-
I've been asked. I'm like, oh my god,
It's
am I being set
dangerous.
up here or what?
Right. It's dangerous. Yeah, no.
Uh, hello, Lorelai. Thank you so much for that. Miles is with me on that. Never tried choking move, but if asked, oh man, that was that was an uncomfortable situation. I was
Mm,
uncomfortable.
like,
So Sassy with Cutie is agreeing with you. Grow into your sisterhood. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Some women equate a relationship with a man as the same as a relationship with their puppy. Submission is a lost art. Wow, wow.
Okay. All right.
Hello, Shanice.
Yeah.
Hello. Mr. Stu says we're just window shopping. Okay,
Mm,
okay, okay. I was on a few dating apps, met a couple guys, but this year I've decided to travel and focus on my business. Okay, all
yes,
right,
I love it.
okay. I would agree that men today seem to be checked out from what I've been
Yeah.
seeing and hearing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So what do you think that they're checked out for? What do you think that they're checked out for? I'm asking to that to Nicole and to you, Auntie. Why do you
I
think the men
think
are
that
checked?
I think that so much has changed. So much has changed in the landscape that they don't know their left from their right. Like they don't know what to do. They don't know, yeah. And so their response is no response. So they're like, okay, we're supposed to be pursuing, but then if we pursue, we're creeps or we're trying to like SA women. I mean, they're just completely confused. We're supposed to be masculine, but if we tell you we're uncomfortable with how you're dressed, now we're controlling. Like they don't know what to do. It's like, they're like, you
Oh,
know
you
what?
reminded me too. Let me send this to my phone here.
Mhm.
I screenshot this. No, I gotta send this to my phone here to try to put it on here because you
Mhm.
absolutely reminded me. There was those whole lists, and I
Mm.
saw a new list about what women are saying they want to stay away from these men
Yeah.
who are doing certain things. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, here it is. Let me send this to my phone here. Excuse me, to my computer.
Mhm. So
So I
yeah,
want to put
they're
this list up
yeah.
on the TV here. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but they are. They're just confused. So in their confusion, they're saying, "Nope, I just won't do anything because I just don't know what to do." Every move I make, I seem to be uh getting my hand slapped. So yeah, I think men have just yeah, I'm done. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that is I think you're summing it up correctly. That is the
Mhm.
general consensus that men are just like, yo, this is crazy. I don't
Right.
know what to do. Yeah, if I'm showing too much masculinity, I'm
Mhm.
controlling.
Mhm.
If I'm not showing enough, then
Love it.
I'm weak, I'm
See.
feminine.
Yep.
Ladies want to work, work all that, make all this money.
Mhm.
But the moment I say, okay, well, take me out now, I'm sassy and all this.
Right.
So
Yep.
guys are
So
confused.
yeah, they just
Like,
like
what's
forget
going
it.
on here? What's going on
Right.
here?
Forget it. I can't
Gail
do it.
says, I got off dating apps and stopped dating essentially at the beginning of the summer and built relationships with friends and family, worked on developing my
Yes.
career goals.
Yes.
It was great.
That's right.
Yeah.
This
All
is the
right. All
year
right.
of the girlfriend, and I've really been encouraging women to take that seriously. I started using an app over the 3-month break I was on. It's called Bumble BFF, and I met 8 new female friends. And we have been hanging out, going out. We've been having a blast. We have just been having the best time, and it's so refreshing that when you message another woman and she messages you right back, like, and you actually talk about something substantive, and then you actually exchange numbers, and then you actually meet up, and you actually like have good conversation, and you do something fun. It is fantastic. It is a fantastic experience. And guess what? Sometimes we treat each other, right? Sometimes we go Dutch, everybody pays their own way, but sometimes I treat them, sometimes they treat me. And there's no like weird pressure. There's nothing weird about that. It is amazing. It is incredibly freeing. So that's what I want women to do this year. Focus on everything but dating, everything but men. And I mean, give up all the content, give up all that content, give up that pop the balloon content, give up that other give it up. Take a break from it and see how you feel.
Sassy Red Cutie says, do you think the confusion is also because they don't have enough positive male role models to mirror behavior after? Probably, but I would say that's probably 20% of it. I think the
Right.
vast majority is what we talked about. The men are
Yeah.
just confused.
Right. Because even the
The
older men are confused.
yeah,
All
they're
the
just
men don't know
confused.
what to do. Right.
Yeah. So we don't, it's, if I hold the door open for you, you get
Yeah.
told, I don't need you to hold the door open for you. I'm
Yep.
strong, independent, but I want
Yep.
you to pay for my dates. And
Yep.
if you don't, then what is going on
Oh,
here? So,
yeah. It's a
um,
nightmare. It really
yeah, it's
is.
definitely a nightmare. So that's caused men to check out. So now
Yeah.
it sounds like the women are going to follow suit. So
Yeah.
we're all going to be checked out here. I still don't know
Yeah.
what dusty is. I can't keep up. Dusty means, I think that means that you are just not up to par.
Yeah.
I guess it's supposed to be like dusty and ashy, like you don't have enough
Yeah.
money to buy lotion and stuff.
Right.
So
Right.
it means you don't have you can't get yourself together. Your
Yep.
hair is not cut clean and crisp. You don't put lotion on. So
Mhm.
that's all that is dusty behavior. Your clothes are
Right.
wrinkled and all that. So it not only is that physically presenting, but it's
Right.
also mentally and emotionally and body language and all that kind of stuff where you're just not up to par. So I
Right.
would assume that's the way it
Yep.
goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that, Nicole. We're gonna get to that.
Oh Lord.
So
She said Veronica's different.
we're still building up here. So we're gonna get to the main event here. So I want to talk about I want to put this up here because this is the new list as we talked
Mm-hmm.
about. I haven't read this over here, so we'll go through it
Okay.
here. Okay, so women are saying stay away from men with toddlers or younger,
Mm,
men that live with a mama,
mm,
men that live with a baby mama,
for sure.
DL men,
For sure.
the men that don't have a valid driver's license,
Ooh, okay.
men that bank with Cash App,
Mm,
men that sag their pants,
mm,
men that don't take care of their kids,
for sure. Yep.
men that disrespect women,
Hmm.
men that don't own a suit.
That's for 35 and up. 35 and up,
Okay,
yes. Hmm.
okay, men that live in motels,
Ooh, no.
men that want to hold a couple dollars if they get paid
Ooh, no.
until they get paid.
Ooh,
Matter of fact,
Lord.
I got that banner here. Let me put that banner. Let Big L hold a couple dollars here.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Men who clothes are in tubs,
Ooh, Lord.
men that can't log into anything without help. Oh
Mm,
gosh,
mm,
men that gotta tell their mama everything. Oof.
mm.
Men that work in the FedEx hub. What's wrong with working in the
Oh,
FedEx
yeah, I
hub?
was gonna say, what's wrong with that? He
You
got a
got a
job.
job, right? Men that work in temporary service,
Okay,
truck drivers. Good lord,
okay,
them grand rising men, them
okay.
what are you doing men
Oh, yeah.
with multiple kids and baby mamas,
Mm,
men that bash women on social media, men that
mm.
have to load their car to add money to it,
Ooh,
men
Lord.
that don't keep their locks up. Yeah, I don't like to
Ooh,
see that either, man.
ugh.
Keep your stuff together. Men that hairline gone, but they keep holding on.
Okay.
Uh, Either or, right? It's either you shave it off
Yep,
or whatever.
I
Men that
know.
always talk about what they want, what they used to have.
Have 'em.
Married men,
Mhm.
men without transportation, men that are
Mm.
Cowboys fans. Definitely agree with
Oh,
that last one. Men that are
oh, that
Cowboys
Cowboys.
fans. All right.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So
Oh
we can
God.
expect the men to clap back in a few days here
Mhm.
or whatever. All right.
Mhm.
So let's get into what I want to talk about. Michelle Obama and Barack. And I saw this on your page here, and I'm going to pause it
Mhm.
here about what we should be looking for in
Yeah.
the state of Black marriage.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I want to talk about this. Now,
Mm.
if 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 the rumors are true, I certainly don't need the Obama suing me. I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really gonna be begging for cash apps then. But if the rumors are true that they are going through some type of tough time and all that, what does that do for the state of Black marriage? And you put this up on your page, so I want to kind of go through the numbers here a little bit.
Yeah. Mm.
So we'll go through this here. It'll get a little bit bigger here so we can see it.
Yeah.
30% of Black Americans are married. That's
Mm.
that's pretty much an abysmal number in
It
comparison to
is. Mm.
other cultures,
Yeah.
other ethnicities.
Mm.
Let's see. 50% of Black adults
Have
have never been
never been
married.
married. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Black women are the less. likely to marry outside are less likely to marry outside their race,
Right.
with
And we
only
know this to
7.
be true. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They want a black man. Most black women want a black man. We know that to be true.
Mm. For black women, the percentage of those who never married grew to 49% in 2022, up from 37%. And it's
Mm.
growing. This trend is growing.
Yes.
As we talk
Yes.
about men checking out,
Yep.
this trend is only going to get bigger. It's only going
Mm.
to get bigger, you know.
Mm.
So
Yeah. And that is really bad. Ugh.
83% of black men with an income or uh, 83% of black men with an income of 100K or higher are married to a black woman.
Mhm.
So, and that's actually been going down, right? It used to be like 87%. Now it's like
Mhm.
88%.
Yep.
So they're
Yep.
looking outside. They're looking outside, and I want to kind of
Yeah.
address this too with Michelle and with Michelle's what I think is a bad look. I'm just
Yeah.
going to say it outright. I think it's a bad look, but we'll get into it in a little bit. I certainly want your commentary about that. Um, in 2021, 15% of married black men had spouses of other races. That was 15%.
Yeah.
By 2022, 52% of black men had never been married. Right.
Mm.
So I think that
Yeah.
was the last. I think that's the last one that you had up
Yep.
there.
But
Richard?
almost half of our people will never marry. That's crazy.
Mm.
That's crazy. I'm like,
Well,
what?
they're not prioritizing it, and
No.
so what, in your estimation, has
Mm.
caused this problem? We probably talked about this, but what, in your estimation, has caused these
Mm.
drastic numbers that we've seen?
So many things. And I had some people on my platform, and I have zero tolerance. And maybe I'm wrong for this. And I often preface by saying, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the a-hole, as they say. But plenty of people talking about slavery and Jim Crow. No. Okay, we need to let that go. Okay, that was a period of time in our history and existence. We had lots of period of time before, and now we have period of time after. So I'm tired of us blaming everything on slavery or Jim Crow. No, it's done. Okay, the culture has in fact shifted, and there's lots of reasons why that's happened. But the reality is, like you said, we're not prioritizing it. It's not something that's even seen as cool. It's not cool anymore to be married. It's like, oh, you're married? Like, it's not cool. And it used to be. It used to be cool. Claire and was it the Huxtables? That was the prototype. And now that's not cool anymore. So yeah, we've been cohabitating. We've certainly been procreating. We've been cohabitating and procreating, but we are not marrying. We're not committing under marriage. So yeah, I'm real disappointed as where we're landing. Very disappointed. But I think there's less, can I be honest? I think there's less spiritual or faith, there's less spiritual life or faith life. Most people, the church has let them down. And you know what? I ain't even mad because the church has let me down recently. Like the church is turning into a joke. So I understand that there people, are looking at the church and a lot of these church leaders and thinking, what? Like, I don't want that. Like, y'all are crazy. So, but that was the pillar of our community for years. And now, because of all the foolishness at church, people they're not in church, they're not meeting in church, and the breakdown of the family in general. So we're not being introduced by our neighbors or by our, our community. We're not being introduced to a possible marriage mate. So community is broken down, family is broken down, the church has become a joke. Um, yeah, I could add things like social media, I could add things like the internet, I could add things like dating apps, I can add things like pornography. All of those things there are more negatives than positives. I had a debate last week on a podcast about, what are the positives of pornography? And this person, oh, well, you get to learn about sex. It's a way for you to learn about sex, or it's a way for you to explore different sex positions or learn about sex or whatever. Okay, what else you got? Because I can give you 20 negatives about pornography.
Hmm.
But we are trying to normalize things that for the most part are not positive. It's not positive. That's like smoking. Okay. What are some of the positives of smoking? Like it's just weird to me, but we're trying to normalize it. We're normalizing daily drug use. Now that marijuana has become legal, here's what I think is interesting. We think it's normal to smoke marijuana every day. Like, help me to understand that. Now, can I have a transparent moment? When I was back in college, yeah, there might be a weekend, homecoming weekend. Yeah. We, but I was not smoking marijuana every day. I was like, oh, it's homecoming weekend. Okay, this is what we doing. Okay, homecoming weekend, spring break. But yeah, they're smoking marijuana daily. Like, make that make sense. So it's so many things. So many things that are negative that we're trying to normalize. That's what I think it is. And it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I appreciate that. That was really very telling about the church comment there.
Yeah.
I'm actually I asked you before about writing a book. That's actually a book I'm going to write,
Mm,
and so I'm definitely wanting to interview you because I want to interview some people if you don't mind. So we can talk about that at another
yep.
time. But yeah, so it's definitely. Did you see Kurt Franklin? Do you know Kurt
Hmm.
Franklin? Do you see
Hmm.
him dancing and all kind of
I
crazy and stuff?
I
And he had to
did.
apologize about that and all this
I
kind of stuff.
did. And it's like, come on. And look, we are supposed to be the shining example. We that It's like, and it's just like a pastor who is unfaithful to his wife or has gotten into some sort of trouble, and then they try to excuse it away. Oh, well, I'm imperfect. I'm just a man. No, when you took that position, you in essence said to the world, I am choosing a higher standard. I have to live by a different standard than my congregation. And it's just insane to me. So it's like, what's the big deal? Like, the church is no different than the world. That's why they're not impressed. So they're not impressed with Christianity right now. They're not impressed with the church. They're no different than the world. So I'm like I said, I'm disappointed too. I let them know I'm disappointed. As a devout Christian, like, really? This is what we're doing? Yeah. I'm real disappointed. So yeah, that's part. So you
So
got that. Mhm.
I wanted to talk about this because if their marriage breaks down, what does that say for the rest of the Black community?
Mm,
If that marriage can't last, but I
mm,
think we would agree that that's probably the highest ranking couple, Black couple. I mean, maybe the second would be Beyonce and Jay-Z. I can't think of anybody, in the limelight. I'm sure that there's
right.
some high-powered people, but in the limelight and spotlight. All right, so we're gonna so before the inauguration that she did not attend, she didn't attend
Hmm.
Jimmy Carter's funeral. And so Mark Lamont Hill, who is he's been on CNN, he's very, very outspoken, particularly about Palestine and all this kind of stuff. Smart dude. So he's got a podcast now. So I want to go through his podcast, and I want to I just to the studio here. I want to dissect what he said. I'm gonna play a little bit fast. And he was kind of shocked. And he's telling now, this is like before she put out an announcement. I'm not going to this, and I'm not going to the inauguration. So I
Mm,
want to
mm,
specifically, hone in on his thoughts about this and get your thoughts about his thoughts.
mm.
Workhorse with unmatched power from the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power.
Michelle Obama pulls out of inauguration. Now, this is a story that should not be a surprise to people. This is a story that should not be considered out of step with what we know about Michelle Obama or what we know about modern or more recent history. If you don't know, though, Michelle Obama, of course, the former First Lady, has announced through her office that she won't be attending the inauguration of Donald Trump. A statement came out early Tuesday morning, and in the statement it said very simply, former President Barack Obama is confirmed to attend the 60th inauguration ceremonies. Former First Lady Michelle Obama will not attend the upcoming inauguration. Now, this is a big deal. Let's be clear. This is a big deal. This isn't a small thing. Michelle Obama is...
Hey guys, did you know some drivers are ditching their car insurance and they're doing this in
the First Lady, not just the First Lady, but the most known First Lady, maybe in the last half a century. You can throw Nancy Reagan in there. Nancy Reagan was pretty big, but hey, Nancy Reagan was 40 years ago. Damn, I'm old. So still almost half a century. And before that, you got to go back to who, right? And so Michelle Obama not attending is very different than Laura Bush not attending. I don't even know if people notice if Laura Bush didn't attend, but people absolutely know that Michelle Obama is not going to attend. The United States, not as much as obviously the British, but the United States is big on tradition, big on pomp and circumstance, particularly at this level, in terms of the political level. It is very, very ordinary for every president to show up. And if every president shows up, every first lady shows up. And the only reason the president can kind of avoid showing up is if they're really sick or really old, right? George H.W. Bush was able to get away with that before he died. Right, his Melania even going, that's funny. Jimmy Carter was able to not go to things toward the end of his life. This is a man who died at 100 years old. So he was going to stuff until he was 90. So this is a big deal. Why is she not showing up is one question. Well, I think the most uncontroversial answer, she just doesn't want to. She's not up to it. She's tired. She's sick. She's got other things to do. Hard to have other things to do in this inauguration. Hard to be sick when you got 5 more days before it even happens. Inauguration will be 11 days after Jimmy Carter's funeral. 11 days after Jimmy Carter's funeral.
All right, I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but he just said this is a big deal, and unfortunately, the problem is that she has not given an answer. She didn't, she's just, I looked at news clippings today. She has not given an answer. No response. Just not going. And Sassy Red says, I didn't feel that had anything to do with Barack. I think she pulled out because how racist Trump was to her, and when he came to the White House for the first time, he refused to shake her hand or look at her.
Okay.
So it's been a problem, and it may not have been polite to say that, but she didn't even go to Jimmy Carter's funeral. That's I think is really kind of sparking these rumors. Is the problem is that okay, you didn't go to Jimmy Carter's. You could have not shook his hand, looked at him, sat next to him, whatever.
Right.
But now you're not, and we would have understood that, but you could have gone to that one. So, and somebody else is saying, somebody else put a comment up here that I wanted to go to. I can't find the other comment here. So, but let me. So, what are your thoughts about that? That she, just didn't want to go, and should she? I think the big question is, in particular, is should she have gone just for the optics? Should she have gone just for the optics? No,
you're asking the wrong person.
Okay,
you are asking the wrong person. How I'm built is I'm gonna do what my heart tells me I should do or what I want to do. Like that's just how I'm built. There's a reason why I could never be a first lady of a church or a first lady of the country, because I'm not built for the optics. She had her reason. We don't know what that reason is. This is a lot of conjecture. We don't know what it is. She could have cancer for all we know. She could be desperately ill. African Americans, our community loves to conjecture. We love to make up stories about why someone did this and why someone wasn't here and why. And we see where that got us with Chadwick Boseman. So we still have not learned to stop speaking on things that we don't know what's going on. We need to learn how to wait and let that person tell us, or wait it out and let the whole thing play out. But there's a lot of conjecture. There's a lot of, assumptions being made, and we just don't know. We don't know why she didn't go. And to say, oh, their marriage is in trouble, or oh, she should have went because it looks bad and all of this. Okay.
Well, okay, let's put the rumors aside here, and let's just assume. I mean, we can go down these different, rabbit holes, and I definitely hear you. We don't, and we're all saying that we don't know. She really could be sick. Her mother could be sick.
Yeah,
we don't know what it is.
we don't know.
But I think if she was dealing with something, she probably could have said something. But maybe she want to keep people out of her business. But let's
Yeah.
just say that let's just say, for the sake of argument, and I want to go here. Let's just say it is because she didn't like President Trump.
Mhm.
Would you agree that if she didn't like President Trump for whatever reasons, but the interactions, the people, the appointments he's putting in the White House, all this other type of stuff, that she still had a duty as a first lady to show up there? Would you, on that perspective alone? And I want to say this because I think that this is an issue that black men have with black women. That's why I played some of the videos to kind of set this up. If the issue is we're not getting married, and it's because of the things that that you've talked about in your show, that I've talked about on my show, is that
Mhm.
there's an attitude problem, there's a lack of cooperation problem. We get to these success levels, and now we see the number of black men who are successful are refusing to date members in it's growing. It's not a big number, but it's growing.
Mhm.
Is Michelle Obama exemplifying possibilities? I get it. Is she exemplifying the exact attitude that many black men see and refuse to marry them for? Is that possible?
Anything is possible, but if she had her reasons for not attending, so can I not have my reasons for not attending? Why is not attending me having an attitude? Like,
Uh,
am I allowed to just say I don't want to attend? I don't want to, I just don't want to attend. And we don't know why. So
I
all of
get
this is
I get that.
conjecture.
I'm trying to speculate here. I know you want to fight me on this.
Mhm.
But if we're talking about black folks getting married, and if we talk about the black people were the most married prior to 1968, we fell off a cliff. If it is that it was an attitude problem, would it be okay? Would it not? Would that be a justifiable reason? I don't like Trump. Should she still have done something out of sense of duty? This is the first lady.
Yeah,
First ladies of a church, first ladies
Mhm.
of a city, first
Mhm.
ladies of ladies of a state, all have the same responsibility to show up to things, shake hands with people, look people that they know that they can't stand. Is Michelle Obama, the highest office of all those first we just said, should
Mhm.
she have at least said, or at least gone, just for the optics of standing by her husband and all that kind of
Right,
stuff?
right. It would have displayed, if, and again, we don't know the reason, right? We don't know the reason why she didn't go. But let's say the reason why she didn't go is because she doesn't like Trump. Yes, it would have displayed emotional maturity for her to show up and stand in support of her husband. Sure, it would have shown great emotional maturity. But I also believe that, she's entitled to feel how she feels. She's entitled to, if the reason why she didn't go is because she doesn't like Trump, she's entitled to that feeling. She's entitled to that belief.
So
So,
I get that. I agree that she's entitled to feel the way she
mhm,
feels. But that does that entitle her not to go and show duty and honor to the prestige of the office, to set an example? Because not only does she set an example, again, we're all speculating. I'm not going to keep saying
mhm,
that. But if she set this type of example and said, "I'm not going to go," what stops another woman who's on a lesser tier, who's dating a truck driver, from going to her thing, right? So
mhm,
I would get promotions on a police department, right? All these everybody's getting promoted, their whole family would show up. My wife doesn't like doesn't like the guy, doesn't like the chief who's going to pin the badge on me, or the mayor of the city, she still should go out of duty and sense in support of her husband. Is that whether it's a forklift operator who's being promoted to manager, or it's the president of the United States? Is not, where does duty come in that? Even trump your feelings.
Right. But you know that's not how women are built. And men continue to project that onto women. You continue to want us to do what is natural for you to do. Women are not built like that. That's one of the number one things that I teach. And when a man is not open to accepting the different nature between men and women, that's when we have a lot of problems. And the same thing is true when women don't accept a man's nature. So some of this is we have got to stop projecting on each other. The way a woman is built is very much driven by her feeling, by her emotion. Okay. And the way men are built is on duty. Women are not built that way. That's not in our nature to grit our teeth and bear it, to stay in unhappy, abusive, dead marriages. It's not in our nature to do that. We lose our glow. We lose our feminine mystique when we do that. It's not much to ask a man, hey, I tell men in my practice, I told several men this today, the clients that I had. I said, hey, let me give you a pro tip. I want you to do a little something every day to make your wife feel good. That's my pro tip to a man. Well, why do I have to do it? Because that's how women are wired. And the men who take my advice and they actually say, okay, I'm going to actually do what Anita said for 30 days. They come back, they're like, wow, she's like a different person. And I've been doing these small little things just to make her feel good. And it has really changed her attitude, changed the way we interact with each other. It really has helped. I said, I know, because you're speaking to her nature as a woman. Okay. You're actually you're contributing to her happiness. You can't make her happy, but you can contribute to her happiness. Women need to feel good to do good. It's unlikely that we're going to do something that we don't feel good about. That's just not how we're wired. And there are some women that will grit their teeth and bear it. Hillary is a masculine energy woman. That's why she did what she did. She is a masculine energy woman. She can do it in spite of how she feels. But most feminine women are not like that. Okay, so
Somebody
that's
else Somebody else put on here, and I appreciate you commenting on Barbara's. I left it up there. Hillary did that, and somebody else said they did it. So,
yeah,
all
that's
right. So
it.
let me.
But again, we don't know why she didn't go. So
No, we get that.
again,
We
we're
get that.
making all these
We get that.
assumptions. She could have talked to Barack about it. Barack could have said, yeah, if you don't want to go, don't go. And that's her husband. Her husband is like, yeah, it's okay. It ain't that big of a deal. And he told her, if it's not in you to do this, if this goes against your value system, if it goes against how you truly feel, don't do it.
Mm.
And here we are. Oh, the marriage is in trouble. Oh my God. They're like I said, I, our people. I'm over it. Like we don't
Well,
know.
I think
We don't know.
no, you're right. You're right. But I think that the other problem is that there were rumors before.
Hmm.
There's always been some type of rumors, and somebody even put this in the chat a little bit earlier about something about, I can't remember. I'm kind of doing a couple of things here. Somebody put something in the chat about rumors. She's older than him. It was a marriage of political arrangement, and somebody else I listened to also said the same thing, was a marriage of political arrangement and all that kind of stuff. And you're right, we don't know, and you're absolutely right,
Yeah.
he could have said whatever. All right, I want to
Yeah.
play this last video here, and I just want to, this is from Pink Book Lessons, and she's got a bunch of good photos just to see, in my estimation, how bad this looked from her perspective. from Obama's perspective, all these highfalutin people being introduced, and you got the one brother, the one black dude, and this is why I want to press on this. I know we don't know, we've said it numerous times, but the black person, the only one, don't have his wife there because whatever. And I'm going to respectfully disagree with you, is because I think that the problem is that we are under the microscope so much, and if it was not for some valid reason, she had to grit her teeth and get through it. Through Hillary Clinton, Melania probably didn't want to be there either, as we joked about, all that kind of stuff. So
to Jamaica, send your first online money transfer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 42nd President of the United States, the Honorable William J. Clinton, accompanied by the Honorable Hillary Rodham Clinton. Ladies and gentlemen, the 43rd President of the United States, the Honorable George W. Bush, accompanied by Mrs. Laura Bush. Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, the Honorable Barack H. Obama.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just think that that's a bad look. I mean, unless she has a really, really valid reason, I'm sorry. I just think that that's a bad look. I don't know if I can make that smaller.
But again, until you know what that reason is, you can't say that. This whole title, Obama humiliated by wife. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm so tired of us. We have no idea what's going on with that woman. And that's how you lead? Come on. Come on. I'm tired of it. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it until we know what it is, because then it comes out that one of their daughters was sick. One of their daughters was going through now you got to eat crow because you posted some crazy video making all this conjecture. Like, can you just wait and see what happened? Like, come on. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of our people. I really am. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I really am, because it's just like I said, we don't know. We don't know.
Okay, we get that. But I think that my disagreement with right now is that you're saying even if it was that, even if she didn't want to go, that it's okay for her to say no.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. She don't owe us anything. She does not owe us anything.
Does the first lady of your church owe you anything?
No. And guess what? The last church,
you really think that?
I really do. The last church that I went to, I was a member there for 17 years. I can count on one hand how many Sundays that she showed up to church.
And what do you think that did? We talked about the church.
And her husband have been married 41 years. They've been married 41
what does that
years.
do? What does that do for prospective church members, for people who want to get married, who are looking for examples to emulate? What does that do as a pastor of the church?
Okay, but why are you looking for examples to emulate? They had, and this is what they taught me. They taught me that whatever they were doing outside of church was working for them. That's what it taught me. I did not need to see her there every Sunday to emulate her marriage, but whatever they had going outside of church on Sunday, it was working. It was working. They were married 41 years.
Okay, that's the way that you think. Do you think that a lot of other people think the same way?
They
Do you
might
think?
not. I'm a unique perspective. I get that. I'm a very unique perspective. Okay, but yeah, I can't. Like I just can't. I mean, that's why I'm not cut out for this type of stuff. All this pomp and circumstance, I'm just not cut out for that. I'm not going to be held to some sort of standard by all these people I don't even know or care about. But that's me. That's just me. Okay. So I own that. I own that that's not me. I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah, that last church I attended, I'm in a new church now. Every now and again, the first lady will preach for the pastor and she will say, "Hey, he's not feeling well or he's somewhere else doing something else." And then there's Sundays where he's there and she's not there. Again, it's called none of my business. Like we are so full of all these assumptions and conjectures about people. And that's just wrong to me. I don't get it. I don't get down like that. So, yeah, I think we're doing too much as a people. We're putting too much on them and like they got to hold up the entire black race. Like, come on. Come on. I'm holding up my end of the bargain here in my little part of the world and I want everybody else to do the same. But why are we putting that on Michelle and Barack Obama's shoulders?
So we
That's
should
not.
have no one to look up to. No one should do this. I mean, I really am surprised that you're saying that. I mean,
Yeah, can I be
I
honest
mean,
with you? Can I be
yeah, well,
honest with
I
you?
definitely want.
My hero, the person I look up to from from then here to here. You already know what I'm gonna say. That's my hero. Everybody else is valuable. Everybody else is human. I just don't get down like that. I don't idolize anybody. Jesus is the first, the last, the alpha, the omega. That's who I look up to. But everybody else, I'm like, they're human. They're a person. My pastor, his wife, Michelle, Barack, they're people. And we're holding them to this like ridiculous standard. And then we're quick to dethrone them. That's what I don't like about it. You're quick to pedestalize them and you're quick to kick them off that pedestal. I don't do either one. I don't pedestalize them and I don't kick them off the pedestal.
I get that you don't, but other people do. Other people need to see people doing well. We need to see our parents doing well. We need to see our bosses are not hypocrites. We need to see the pastor's not a hypocrite, and we need to see that if we're going to have successful marriages, that we went through the numbers. If we're going to have successful marriages, we got to see that going on. And there's already this mindset and this thought process about black women. Let's just keep it a buck. There's already this mindset. Does what she did help?
Again, I can't speak on it because I don't know what happened.
I started a poll.
Yeah.
So I want to see what everybody's saying here. So hit the poll if you could and would. You got 111 people. I had 36 people who were had hit the like button. So y'all hit the like button. I'm definitely interested in your guys' thoughts about this. So it looks to be 50-50 right now. So
Okay, you put a poll in here.
I think so, right?
Let's
Other
see.
people are hitting it in the chat. In the chat.
Oh,
You might
okay.
you might
I
have to
might
open
not
up.
be. Yeah, I might not be able to see it.
Yeah. I keep two things open right now. Right now it's 56% saying no, she shouldn't have gone. So and I guess I should be more specific. People have already hit it now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm really concerned about if she's sick, somebody else is sick. Of course
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Right? Of
I
course
just
not.
don't
But
know.
just I guess what I'm asking for is a sense of duty. And if other people can get through it, then why can't we get through it? That just kind of bothers me.
But again, I'm not going to speak on it because I don't know why she didn't. Like I'm not willing to destroy her good name over an assumption or over conjecture. That's just me. So that's the standard in which I'm holding myself. Now, if I find out later that, yeah, I just don't like the bastard, okay, maybe I'll have more to say. But right now, we don't know. We don't know why she didn't go. That's all. That's it. That's all I'm saying about it. So until I do know, like the last thing I want to do is destroy her, tear her good name down. That's all.
I
Okay,
would
so you said
disagree.
most people said that she should go. Was that what the what the
It's at 50-50 right now. It's at 50-50 right now. 111 people hit the like button and hit the poll. It's at 50-50 right now. Better yet, it's none of our. I just don't. I don't think that it's. I think that if you are in a public light, it's your business. I think it's your business. I think if you put yourself in a public spotlight, it's your business.
Mhm.
You know, we're still paying her. I mean, we're still paying Barack.
Yeah, we're paying him. We're not
Right,
paying her.
right, right. We're still yeah, I misspoke about that. We're still paying the Obamas, right? And you know, I think there's duty and obligation there. And I think that that's the same could be said for anyone else. You put yourself in a light in a public space, and if you were doing something that is against your morals and principles as a LPC and or the morals and principles of your YouTube standards, your social
Mhm.
media presence, I think you have the right to be called out about that. Same with me. People catch me doing something like you have every right to say, "Oh, this dude's a fraud" and whatever. So, and we're not going to hold the first lady of the United States to that. I just don't. Again, we're all speculating, So I just don't, So
Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
That's it. But if someone, came at me because, oh, you disappeared for 3 months and, you just dropped off the face of the planet and you don't care about your followers and this and that, again, you don't know what was going on in my life. And I come back and I reveal that, I had a surgery, I had breast cancer. Like, come on. I'm just tired of that. I'm just tired of that. I'm not going to participate. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead and participate in this. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. That woman is still a woman. She's still a person, and I'm not dragging her when I don't know what happened. I'm just not doing that anymore. So that's it. That's it. Like I said, I that's the stance that I'm taking.
gotcha. Joyce
Yeah.
says it's going to be the demise of black people, the breakdown of the black family. What are your thoughts about that? I mean, do you think that the culture is pretty much done, or
No, it's going to right itself. It may not happen in my lifetime, but I do think that it will right itself. I really do believe that it will right itself at some point. But again, it may not happen in my lifetime. The reason why I care about it is because I have 3 children and I want to see them get married. I want to see them be happy and have families of their own. So people ask me that all the time. Why am I fighting so hard? Why am I, doing the work that I'm doing? Because I have 3 children. If I never, have another husband, I'm good. Like I said, I've lived a great life. So it's not about me at this point. It's about the next generation. Personally, my next generation. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm hopeful that it's going to right itself. But again, I may be 80 years old when that happens.
does the next generation have to look to this generation? That's what I think part of the problem is that one generation, the millennials now, no, what are Gen Zs are looking at millennials, we're looking at
Hmm.
Gen Xers who are looking at, and progressively we're getting worse. So that's a big part of the problem is that we're looking at I mean, I guess you're pushing back in the idea that we should have role models and examples, which I just disagree with, whether it's the church, whether it's people, and as you mentioned, we had these people at the church. We had, the church was our culture. The church was our our social place of interaction. It's where we met, where we you had sister so and so introducing you to a brother so and saying y'all had to get together. We don't have any of that. So and then the people that we do look towards are kind of a mess.
But see, I don't look towards them.
You
I
don't.
have
But
I have
many
made up my
people do.
mind to become the change, and I want other people to do that.
So,
Become the
but other
change you
people,
want to see. That's it.
you don't do that.
Mm-mm.
That's great, and I think that more people should be independent thinkers. But other people, would you not agree that other people should look to you to say, okay, we want to be the change. Here's a sister who's being the change. She's
I'm
now
still I'm
focusing
still going
on the year of focusing on on friends. Is
Mhm.
that not something you think that people should emulate?
I'm still going to encourage them to go inside of themselves. Go inside of yourself. So when I tell women, I've announced this is the year of the girlfriend, and I give the definition of what that means. I want them to go inside of themselves and ask themselves, does that resonate with me? Have I been struggling out here in these dating streets? Maybe I should take a break. Like, I still want you to go inside. Go inside and ask if that resonates with you. And if it doesn't, because I've talked to women about it and it didn't resonate. They were like, "Nope, I'm not doing that." I was like, "Okay." Like, again, that does not resonate with you. Now, thankfully, a lot of women have said, "Yeah, this dating app thing, and this is just too." You're right. I need a break. A lot of women have it has resonated with, but I want each person to go inside of themselves. I want them to trust themselves. I don't want anybody to blindly follow me or blindly follow anybody. And can I be real? I think the day of the MLKs and the Malcolm X's and people who stood for something, people who lived honorably, that day may be dead. Okay, that day may be dead. And that's why I want people to go inside. You can still become that person, but not on this grand scale. I think and I know a lot of number one stand up good people. I know a lot of good Christian people, but guess what? They don't have a platform. They don't have a YouTube channel. Like, they are stand up people, but not on this grand scale, because it's like it's too much. They even tell me, like, there's good dudes I know. I'm like, man, you should start a YouTube channel. You should do this. They're like, nah, hell no. Nah, nah. I'm leading my little corner of the world. I'm making my family strong and better. And I respect that. Because guess what this world does? It tries to destroy anything good. I respect that. And to some extent, I do that. I have a channel, but I'm not out here, everywhere all the time. But I kind of respect that. I know a lot of healthy couples, and they're like, we're not putting our business out there. Like, this world destroys anything good. I can respect that. So
You mentioned
they're making a change in their part of the world. So I can respect that.
you mentioned Malcolm and Martin, and their wives were the exact epitome of what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Particularly, Coretta Scott. I mean, all the stuff that we now know that Martin was doing.
Hmm.
Dr. King, I should say, put some respect on his name. Um, I just, man, I'm really just shocked. It again, speculation. If I just don't think, I just think the duty's got to say something, and I'm not. And race, somebody said this. I think I scrolled past it. Somebody said race doesn't matter. I just listen. I just think that it's a bad look. The only brother in the room, almost. I just think it's a bad look. I just think it's a bad look. I just think it's a bad look. And Martin and Coretta Scott, I mean, I mean, Malcolm and Coretta Scott's, you know, they're the wives are important. The wives are important. It shows stability, strength, shows support. And if and same thing, I would say the same thing if Kamala had gotten the presidency and her husband didn't show up for certain events. Like, what is wrong with this dude?
Okay.
Wow. Um, let's see. So what you said, it may not happen. It may not happen. The salvation of it may not happen to her in her 80s. What do you think would bring about that salvation of the marriage rates? What is the exact steps that this generation now, or the future generation, should do to salvage the marriage statistics?
I mean, we're seeing some things turn around, right? We're seeing the hookup culture. We had a phenomena of hookup culture. We're having a phenomena of OnlyFans culture, and it's like the pendulum swinging. It swung all the way here, and now people see the detriment of that behavior, and now it's starting to swing back. So you have people that are embracing abstinence. You have people that are embracing, all kinds of like at being abstinent, being celibate. I think something like that will happen again. The pendulum will swing so hard to one side, it has to come back. So it could be a myriad of things that happen. But once people see the negative consequences of what they're doing or not doing, I think it is going to come back. And that's what history has shown us. History has shown us that over and over. The pendulum will go on one side, then it'll come back, and it'll all balance itself out. There is nothing new under the sun.
Thank you, Rhonda. We're at 38 likes. Come on, y'all. There's
I
100,
know.
100 people watching. Listen, come on now. This just, I mean, if you want this engagement, we got a guest here. We're having a great conversation. So hit the like button. It shows engagement. You can hit the dislike button too. So it just gets the algorithm going and all that. So please hit the like button.
Right.
So let's talk about the hookup culture and why do you think what do you think the negative consequences of that are, and why do you think that's causing the swing back? What do you think about that?
It's just the emotional blowback. A lot of people realize that sex is not real intimacy. Sex is fake intimacy. It is not um, honoring to your body. Sex is also a spiritual exchange, and people didn't realize that until they did it over and over and over, and they realized that instead of feeling better, they felt worse. So yeah, and in my mind, those people learned the hard way. They didn't realize that until they actually did it. And they were like, "Oh, wow, this is really not good. This is really bad for me." So yeah, yeah, some people are going to learn the hard way. There and clearly, according to the percentage, there's a percentage of unmarried people, people with no children, women with no children. Yeah, they're going to learn the hard way. They're going to learn the hard way. So just like there are women out here who've told their daughters, "Oh, I married your father and he was the primary breadwinner. And, I didn't go to school. I didn't educate myself. I feel stuck in the marriage." So you had Black mothers telling their Black daughters that. But then you're going to have 20 years from now, if 60% of women are never married and have no children, they're now going to do the opposite. Girl, don't be me. Don't be me. You see, I'm 60. I don't have any kids. I've never been married. I have a little dog or I have a cat. Yeah, girl, do different than I did. Find your husband. The same thing will happen, and it will flip that coin. So just like, grandmothers and mothers told daughters, "Get your education, don't worry about men." 50 to 60% of women never married, have no children. They're going to tell similar stories. They're going to do the same thing. So again, there's nothing new under the sun. And think about it. We're already seeing a bunch of women crying on TikTok, a bunch of lonely women making videos crying in their car. So yeah, that's what could turn it around. That could scare an even younger generation. Like, "Oh, I better think about this. I better think about getting married. I better think about having children." So yeah, yeah.
Those are good points. Those are good points. My soap has said this before, and forgive me for not getting to your Cash App or to your
Super chat. Thank you.
super chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how much I use it. I don't even remember know the name.
Right.
Y'all hit the super chat too.
Right.
My soap says, do you think the obesity epidemic could have played a part in people not being able to commit? Modern women, 80% BMI or whatever it is, and I think it's even worse for that 80%. I think is for Black women in particular.
That's
I don't know if it's 80%.
I think that's a very small reason. There are a lot of women who are overweight who are married. Like, I don't know where y'all get that narrative from, but yeah, sure, there are men out there who don't want overweight women, but I also know a lot of women who are overweight who are married. So I think that's a very small percentage.
Mm,
I think
okay.
that's a very small percentage of people. So, yeah. But do I want to see people be fit? Of course, because y'all know how I feel about health and fitness. I want to see our people. That's a whole nother live. That's a whole nother area that we could talk about. I want to see our people do better in that as well. Like, we are not aging well. We are aging well in terms of, do we look younger than other races? Sure. But we're not aging well in terms of health outcomes. That's where Black people are losing. Our health outcomes, our medical conditions, and all it, we are losing. We may look youthful, but our health results, our blood work is not looking good. So I would like to see that change for sure.
Mm. You're dragging it. How many political events has she showed up at since his presidency? She allowed not to show up for whatever reason. I don't have a problem with not political events. I just think that this was an honored tradition, and I think that
Yeah.
this is an honored tradition, and there's things that come with the presidency, or being the wife, or if there's ever a woman president, there's things that come with that, and showing up to some of these events because of the optics is where it's at.
Hmm.
So I say the same thing about the mayor of a city, the governor's wife or husband, pastors, any type of thing that you're in the limelight like that. What if even you go to the Oscars or whatever, Will Smith smacked smacked Chris Rock because he was talking about a wife that he wasn't living with.
I know.
Right, so there was just a sense of duty and honor that
Mm.
you gotta that exchange of vows, and entering into this public sphere has to
Mhm.
mean something. And it's disappointing to me that there's only 55% of the people saying yes. I think it should be higher than that, but
Mm.
this is a curious thing here we got going on. Agreed, with a lifetime duty of the office she held, guards at the tomb of the unknown take a lifetime oath to certain codes of conduct. The first ladies of history have lifetime duties. Yeah, I mean, people were still talking about Jackie O. Even
Mhm.
her husband was dead for a long time.
Mhm.
I just think that there's duty to that, man. I just think that
Okay.
there's duty to that. So you're pretty sure that this is going to swing back in the other direction
Yeah,
within
I
years.
do. I do. Now, like I said, I'll probably be 80 years old, and and then hopefully, God willing, I'll be on my YouTube channel telling y'all like, so I told y'all that this is what was going to happen, 20 years ago. Hopefully I'm alive and well and on my YouTube channel to tell you that. But yes, I think that, we're going to have to be patient. This is the part we don't say enough. Some people, we will lose some people, right? We will lose some people. There will be a percentage of people that will not get married, will not have children. We'll lose them, right? They will, they will not experience this, and we have to hope that the next generation does better. But we
You
don't
think the
talk about that
economy has
enough.
anything to do with that? The economy? Do you think the economy has
I
anything to
do.
do with
I think the economy plays a part also. However, remember, historically, Black people, even poor Black people, were married. 76% of us, and we were poor. We were married. So think about that. If Black men and women wanted to marry each other in slavery, in Jim Crow, come on. It's this. It's the mindset. The mindset is completely different.
Well,
And
this
not
this
and
is what
not
I'm
in a
trying
good way.
this is what I'm trying to dig into. The mindset is different. That's why I
Yeah.
have such a problem with what she did, if she did it for that reason. Again, if she didn't, somebody who's sick
Yeah,
or
we don't
whatever,
know.
but if she did it for this, I don't want to sit next to Trump. People put this in the comments. I don't want to sit next to Trump. I will look at him. I think Chris Casey said it. I don't want to slap him down. I don't want to go. I don't want to go knock his wig off his head. I don't want to sit next to Melania. I get all that. I mean, but they have seating arrangements. You don't
Right,
have to
right,
do it, right?
right. Yep,
So
yep.
she could have just said, it even like at the funeral, there's a video of when George Bush got there to the funeral, He just walked by Trump and didn't even shake his hand.
Right.
And they're in the same political party. So
Yep.
so she, so he could have done that. I
Yeah.
mean, she could have done that, or just like, listen, I just can't with this dude. And I've been
Yeah.
in situations like that, but like, listen, don't put me in a situation. All right, I'll keep you away from this. I appreciate you coming with me, but I'm not going to put you in any type of craziness, So here's another super chat just came in. My soap was buying me some lunch, huh? Anita,
Hey,
you
there
also
you go. See, you put it out there.
yeah, hit the rest of y'all. Make sure y'all do that too. There, Anita, you also know a lot of unmarried on both sides, and I wasn't questioning aesthetics, but more of a gradual decline since the 1960s.
It has. It has. We were married. We had families. We had communities. The church meant something. And you're right. Slowly, 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 that stuff is like a non-factor.
Do
So
you think the
yeah.
church is going to bounce back too? Do you think that'll bounce back?
God, I pray it does. I pray it does. I do. I pray it does.
Okay.
I pray it does. So, like I said, it's let me down too. So, I want people to know that as someone who is devout, it has really let me down. Sometimes I'll go into Christian spaces like, what are you doing? Like, why are we doing this? We should be setting a standard. We should be different than people in the world. They should be looking to us as, wow, their life looks great. They're living a clean, healthy life, a good life. But no, nope, they're doing the same thing as everybody else. So I really can't co-sign that.
Mr. Stu says women should be held accountable for duty to her husband and duty to her children. Do you agree with that statement?
You said duty to her husband, duty to her husband and duty to her children. I'm not sure what that has to do with this in terms
Well,
of you're
I
saying
think
her
it's
duty
going
to
down
the
the same.
country or the yeah, she's committed. She's committed to her husband. She's committed to her children. Sure, for sure. There are things she's going to do for her husband and for her children. That goes without saying. But
So is that duty? And I'm asking this. I'm not saying Mr. Stu is saying this. I'm
I
not
wouldn't
saying.
I wouldn't use the word duty. Again, I think that's what men associate with the word duty. I wouldn't use the word duty. No. Right? I don't see my role in my husband's life and my children's life as a duty. So that's all. It's a semantic, it's a word game. I wouldn't use the word duty. That's what I would say.
You wouldn't use the word duty when talking
Mm-mm.
about the things that one should do for your husband or spouse.
Nope. I wouldn't. That's not a
What
word that
word
I
would you
would
use?
use. I would say I'm committed. I would say I would probably use the word committed. Like I'm committed to my husband and I'm committed to my children. I'm committed to my family. I would even use the word sacrifice. I would say, yes, there are sacrifices I make for my husband. There are sacrifices. I would use that word, but I wouldn't use the word duty.
There.
That doesn't come natural to me as a woman. I wouldn't use that word.
What?
So that's
Okay. So
just me.
do you think that the vows, marriage vows in particular, are a type of duty, or should be duty, or would encapsulate a sense of sense of responsibility? I'm trying to use another word than duty. A sense of
Hmm.
responsibility. I mean, I'm with you for richer for poor, in sickness and in health, whatever else people put in their vows. Does that not count towards now you have an obligation to do it?
Do I have an obligation to do it?
We have so I get sick, now you got to take care of me. You get sick, I got to take care of you. Is that, I mean, what are we saying about the vows then? Richer and richer for poor. And actually, I had a video I was going to play about this, but I didn't play it.
Mhm.
A richer sickness and in health, right? What are those terms? What does that vow mean? Is it creating a sense of obligation, a sense of honor, a sense of that I have to do this? A sacrifice means that I don't have to do it. That's really what a sacrifice is. A
I mean, I'm
sacrifice says I don't have
choosing.
to do it, but I'm choosing to
to
do it.
do it. Right.
Right,
And
right.
that's exactly what I think. I'm choosing to do those things. Right. I am choosing to do those things. I'm choosing to respect my husband, love my husband. I'm choosing to do things for my children. Yeah, I'm choosing to do those things for sure. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, maybe it's a word thing, but it's just like a marriage to me is consensual, right? I am taking a vow because I choose to. Nobody's making me. Like let's not go there. It's I'm choosing to say these vows. I'm choosing to enter into covenant with this man. That's it. That's all. So maybe it's a word choice that I wouldn't choose. I wouldn't choose the word duty. I have been a good mother to my children for 25 years and I would not consider it my duty.
I
I do it out of love. I do it. I feel honored to do it. I do it. It's just like service, right? God has called me to serve people. My husband is one of those people. My children are one of those people.
God calls you to a ministry. Do you have a duty to do it?
I'm going to choose to do it in service of God saying, "Yes, I want you to do this." Yeah. But
Give me
remember,
another.
God has given me free will. God has given me free will. So even if God instructed me to start my channel, he said, "Anita, I want you to start this channel. I want you to talk about this. I want you to help young people, guide them and direct them." And guess what? I could have told him, "No, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. I ain't got time for that."
But you can neglect your duties. A person can neglect their duties. I think that I think that this is actually very important because I think that
Mhm.
this is a big. I don't know how many other ladies would agree with you,
Mhm.
but I think that this is a really good point that I think that a red pill would really be jumping all over is that
Mhm.
you're saying that the women don't have a duty, I'm saying, well, let me use the word spouse. A spouse doesn't have a duty. What does the word duty mean to you? What are you defining as duty?
But again, when I'm thinking about marriage, like I said, I wouldn't use the word duty. I might use the word duty in the sense of work or in some other realm. I wouldn't use it in terms of my children or my marriage because those that just don't fit there to me.
Sassy
That's
Red,
all.
I got you. I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. Sassy Red says duty to country and party are not the same as obligation in marriage.
Yeah.
What is
I wouldn't use it in my marriage. Yeah, I know.
okay? Well, what is duty to country? What is duty to country and party? Political party. I'm assuming she's talking about.
Okay, I'm just reading his comment. Marital duty. Yeah, I just wouldn't use that word to describe my marriage or the relationship with my
But I
children
think
or
we
the
talked about men.
relationship.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Go ahead.
wouldn't,
I'm sorry.
or the relationship with my mother or father. Like I wouldn't use that word. But that's just me. Like I
I
said.
no, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. But I'm trying. But again, you are a licensed counselor, and you do this type of work. So
Hmm.
I'm really trying to understand. Because I think we started off with the conversation about men checking out, right? That was the beginning. That was the beginning of the conversation, and I think that this is really important because this might be another reason why men are checking out because they think that women don't have a duty. When I did a show about there's two shows I was thinking about. One is about women being happy in a marriage, and it
Hmm.
was kind of a bait and switch, which I did. And women being happy in a marriage, it's not really, and it's not really about your happiness, but it's about there should be a sense of duty because you're not going to be happy all the time, so we can't go
Right.
off emotions, right? And then I did another show that is slipping my mind where I talked about the same thing that guys don't want to step into marriage because they feel as if women can just leave for any reason at any time. Now I got a
Hmm.
lot of pushback on that show, right? We
Hmm.
don't file for divorce because we wake up one day, like you're saying. But this is it. But respectfully to you, you're displaying exactly what I think that men are very concerned about is that women don't think that they have a duty, and I'm using duty as obligation, I'm using duty as responsibility. I had a duty to go to work to
Hmm.
support children to make sure that they could. I had a duty to do that. And when my wife got sick, when she had cancer when she was in her 30s, I had a duty to make sure that she got to her appointments and do everything I could. That was my responsibility. It was my obligation. It was any other synonym, I would throw it in there. And if you're saying that I could not do it, and if God called you to do something, you don't have to do it. I just disagree with that wholeheartedly. I'm
Well,
very
we have free will. You understand that, right? So a man can't make me do it. God can't make me do it, but I choose to do it. I choose to obey. But we do have free will. Are you saying we don't? Do we not have free will?
you absolutely have free will, but you have a
Mhm.
responsibility and a duty to do. Now, I can neglect my duty. I was a police officer, and one of the things we all know that I keep saying that all the time. So one of the charges, and I used to write people up. One of the biggest write police officers up, and sometimes they would be terminated. I was in internal affairs, and one of the biggest charges that you can ever give any police officer that is almost guaranteed to get them fired is neglect of duty. You took an oath of office. We pay you every week, and if you refuse to do your duty, you have a duty to arrest somebody. You have a duty to intervene. There's teachers now who have a duty to they're mandated reporters, all the same things. If you see someone abusing children or the elderly or whatever, you have a duty. You have and to say that you have that for work and you don't have it for the marriage is really quite. I'm going to be honest. I'm just shocked to hear you say that.
Yeah. Those two things are different to me. But again, it's just like you're saying. If God, as a devout Christian, right? I'm called to walk in his will. If he calls me to do something and I don't do it, yes, there may be negative consequences, right? But I do have the free will not to do it. But he's let me know, hey, there may be negative consequences of not obeying. And there usually are. That's all I'm saying. So, yes, we all have free will. Just like you have the free will not, like you said, you can neglect your duties as a police officer and there will be negative consequences. That's all. But I wouldn't use that word, not in my marriage. I would use taking a vow. I would use sacrificial, dying to the flesh. There's lots of other words I would use, but I wouldn't use the word duty. Not in my marriage, not when it comes to my children or my home. That feels incredibly impersonal to me. That's just me. Okay. So we can agree to disagree. Like I said, that we can agree to disagree, but that wouldn't feel good to me. That's all. But yes, if a man wanted to marry me and he said, well, what is it you are prepared to do? What is it I'm prepared to enter into a holy covenant with you. I am prepared for both of us to take a vow to treat each other as as you're treating me as Christ loved the church, right? I'm treating you with respect and all the things that God calls me to do for you. We're both entering into this consensually and we're doing our best. And if a man says, well, that's not good enough, I need you to tell me that it's your duty. It's your duty. Okay. I wouldn't use that word.
Does
I would
Christ
not
have
use
any
that word.
obligation? I'm using all these terms synonymously, and I don't know. I'm still struggling to understand why you're not. I'm being respectful, but
Mm-mm.
I don't know why
Yeah,
you're not. So
that's
does
not the
Christ
word
have
I
a
would use.
duty to help the church, to help his followers, the people? Does he have a duty to do any of that?
I
An
mean,
obligation?
he did it. Well, God asked him to do it because of his love for us. That was his greatest sacrifice. His love. That's how he displayed his love for us, was to fulfill God's will for him to die on the cross. And again, sure, you could say, I guess he had a duty to do it. But guess what? Christ could have at any point not done it, but he chose to do it. He chose to do it. So that's all. But that's, like I said, that's just me. I don't encourage anybody else to have that way of looking at things. That's the way I look at things.
I
And
got you.
so,
I got you.
no, I wouldn't use that word. I would not describe my marriage as it is my duty. No, I wouldn't. I would say I am under a covenant with this man. and I vowed to be faithful to him, to be loyal to him, to respect him, and that is a vow I plan on keeping. And as long as both of us, like if as long as I'm not being abused by that man, as long as I'm not abandoning myself, as long as I'm not asked to go against God or God's commandments by that man, okay, I'm going to keep my vow to that man. That's it.
I
So,
disagree with you, Sassy Red Cutie. I think that the terms are interchangeable. I
okay.
think a duty is a group. No, I think the group is the family. I
Hmm.
mean, it's an individual in the group, but I just disagree with. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Mr. Stu is asking, would you be a submissive wife? Do you teach women to be submissive to their husbands? And Miles is saying duty or servitude is a negative kind of. You think it's a negative word? Do you think that the word duty
I
is
don't think
negative?
it's a negative word. I think it has its place in like work and situations like work, right? Or like you said, a pastor's duty to his congregation. Right. I could see it used in that regard. I wouldn't use it in marriage. That's all I'm saying. But sure, does it have a place at work? Does it have a place when you are a professional and you're leading a team or leading a group or you have a big company? Sure. But I wouldn't use it in my personal relationship with my husband. I wouldn't.
Do you? I guess I just asked you that. Is it a negative? Do you think it's a controlling word that if I have a duty, do
Mm,
you think that that says somehow that I'm not in control?
not at all. Like I said, but I think this is a male brain, female brain thing. That's why, like I said, I'm willing to accept that that's how men think. I want you to accept that as a woman, I think differdifferently. And maybe
But
other women agree and maybe they
I'm
don't.
legitimately trying to understand.
Right. But you
Um,
may not. That's okay. Because you're saying my male brain is saying duty and it should be a duty. You should have
well,
a
I'm using
duty
the,
to
but
do that.
I'm also saying that I use the terms interchangeably. So I don't have a problem with you
Okay.
saying sacrifice or vow or obligation. I might have used that word. Whatever terms you've said, I've agreed with you. I think the men should do that for their wives. And I think that women should do that, but somehow, for some reason, you're drawing the line at the term duty, and I'm using them interchangeably. And
Yeah.
I'm just confused as to why that is. Where
Right.
do men feel women are failing to be dutiful to their men? Where do men feel? I
Hmm.
think
That's a
to
good
their.
question.
Um, I think number one, I think that unfortunately, this is probably showing it. Is that there is they think that there's a drawing of the line. Here's where I think the biggest thing is. I don't know if I'm
Hmm.
going to exactly answer your high vibe, but I think that there's in this modern era there is a drawing of the line, and the drawing of the line is I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to do that. Now I'm not asking you to do anything illegal or
Yeah. Immoral or
I'm not going to ask you
unethical.
to do that,
Right.
right?
Those are my three things. If it's illegal, if it's immoral, if it's unethical. And that is
Right,
regardless of if you are my husband,
right,
right?
right,
Because
right.
those things go against my Christian faith.
Right. But somehow there's and I just made a video about this earlier today. It's going to release probably next week.
Hmm.
Um there's this line that is there that I will do this, but I won't do that. And I'm trying to think of a good example. I will the video that I played for it was a first date video. I played it in the last live that I did, and I'm not gonna cook your food, or I'm not going to you know have relations with you later on that night because I don't feel like it. Or, there's this thing, and the things that we're asking to do are not illegal, immoral, or unethical.
Right,
It's
right.
just I'm not going to be treated like a slave. I'm not going to, I'm whatever's going on mentally. There's
Hmm.
this idea that I'm just not. I'm going to draw that line, and this is
Hmm.
where I think this is why I was wanting to talk about the Michelle Obama thing. Is yes, she went to, and it was in the comment section. Yes, she went to all these different events. Yes, she
Hmm.
endured a lot of harsh criticism, all this kind of stuff. But you signed up for that.
Hmm.
I mean, you
Hmm.
signed up for it.
For
So
sure.
if you sign up for this thing, and again, if you sign up for a marriage and he gets sick, remember it's sickness
Hmm.
and health. He gets,
Hmm.
we want to divorce people because they get sick. Divorce people. There was a survey. I just heard this the other day. I don't know how true it is, but this is another podcast I was listening to. There was a survey that maybe you heard this survey that was done that if a guy loses his job, how much time before the woman really got sick of him and left him or kicked him out? It was 90 days. Well, what if it takes right? That's almost laughable. Where's her sense of honor, duty, obligation? It's to me, it's all the same thing. And if you're saying, okay, I'm in covenant with you, I'm sacrificing for you, but I'll only do it for 90 days. That is what men are scared of.
Right.
That is the drawing of the line. Okay, the survey said it's 90 days, or I'm going to give you 3 months to get back on your feet because you lost this job, this good paying job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where is the sense of, and that's why I think that guys want that. Maybe this is the male brain, but here's what I want as a man. Here's what I want as a man. I want a woman who's going to be my ride or die. If I shoot somebody, I want to be able to hand you the gun. This is a police officer saying. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
That's illegal.
I'm not gonna, right. I'm saying, but I want to know that you at least have my back. Because we're going to go through some stuff, whether it's with our children. I could get laid off. I could get sick. I could get into a car accident. And I want to know that you're going to be with me. And in the Obama's case or in the scenarios that I've laid out here before, there's just this idea that I'm going to do this. But I'm going to draw the line here. And men don't want to hear that. Maybe this is the male brain again. Men don't want to hear that. Right. I want to hear that you are with me, till the end. And that is causing men to have a lot of fear.
And okay, so she said, not the ride or die. I was thinking that too, not the ride or die. Here's what I want to say about that, at least from my perspective. I think that women have one of the things that it's kind of a love-hate relationship I have. The love-hate relationship with women who are educated and the love-hate relationship with women who are conscious or evolved is that we now have standards, right? We want to balance our love for our man and our love for ourselves. So this idea of the selfless love for a man and just whatever happens, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, being educated, being evolved, being conscious, I've woken up to this idea of, okay, I don't want to be selfish and I don't want to be selfless. I want to find something in the middle. I want to be able to balance my love for my man with also my love for myself. So I don't want to be this ride or die, whatever you do, whatever happens, I'm going to go along with it. I want to have some self-love in there. I don't want to have to abandon myself to be with this man. That's the rub. That's the rub that I even find myself in, where, okay, as women who are evolved, as women who are educated, as women who know things, like, I know more than my grandmother. And so now it's like, yeah, I love you. I want to take this vow. I'm doing it consensually. I'm entering into it knowing that I'm doing this. But I also need you to know there's no unconditional love amongst adults. Love is conditional.
You're not going to get men to sign up. I wouldn't say. You're not going to get men to sign up for that. You're not going to get men to sign up for that.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know that. But love is conditional amongst adults. It is not this unconditional blank check, do whatever you want, say whatever you want, take me through whatever. It's not. That is not a healthy form of love. And so if that man said, Anita, I want you to know this, that, I'm going to have your back. I'm going to make sure I don't put you in a situation where you would have to take the gun after I shot. So, and I go, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, because I want to have your back. I want to make sure, it's just like the whole leading. Don't lead me off a cliff. That's all we're saying. I want that man to lead me into heaven. Don't lead me into hell.
I don't think
Right?
that I
Why
don't
can't
that
that go both ways? Why can't the man say, Anita, I'm never going to put you in a position that you would have to do something illegal, immoral, or unethical?
well, they should, and that's the vetting process. I'm not advocating for any type of criminal behavior or anything like that at all. And I definitely hear women when they say that. But there's this thing that you're saying you're going to give me 95% and I'm going to reserve this. And I don't think that men are going to sign up for that. Yes, a man should not lead you off that. That's the vetting process. That's knowing his family. That's knowing
Right.
his background. That's knowing his history. But once you get to that place where you know this man,
Yeah.
whatever that takes,
Yeah.
that you ought to be 100% committed to that person, no matter what. Because yeah, I mean, you talk about
So the
duty.
man can bump his head and lose his mind and beat me to a pulp. And then what?
Well, you ought to get him the medical care. I'm not saying you ought to stick through that, but you ought to get him the medical care, not just abandon him.
Okay.
Yeah, you should help him to the extent that he's able and willing to be helped. But that doesn't mean, but you're still, it's not like you're saying, I'm just gonna, what I think that men are hearing is that there's this reservation going on, and I'm not going to give you 100% of me. Now, those cases do happen. I've seen people get in car accidents. There was a guy I worked with. He got into a really bad car accident. And his head was banged out. It was a completely different person. His wife ended up divorcing him, but still helped him get to a bunch of get him the Social Security, because I don't think he had enough time to get the pension, whatever he needed to be set up financially. She didn't abandon him, but she got but that was duty that caused her to. She could have just said, oh, he's a different person, I'm going to do this. But to me, that's obligation, that's commitment, that's duty, that she at least did that. And a lot of us were like, oh, that's impressive that she did that, because she didn't have to do it.
Could she have done it out of love?
I don't know I don't know why we're separating. Why can't duty and love be the same thing?
Because they're not in my mind. They're not.
And
They're very different in my mind. Could she have done it because she loved him? She genuinely loved him.
Yes, I think that she did genuinely. I think she did
Okay.
genuinely, and that sense of love causes you. We genuinely love our children. We genuinely love our pets. So we have an obligation to take care of them, to love. So why are we separating that between men, or between relationships?
No, I'm
And
not. I'm not. If I genuinely love my husband, but if he adopted some habits that were detrimental to me and my pursuit of happiness and my health and all the things, I am going to draw a boundary there. I'm not going to stay and allow him to abuse me. That's to me
I've
that's the one
acknowledged.
reason why divorce exists in my mind is abuse. Any form of chronic abuse, yes, you have the right to divorce that person.
I'm
God
not.
did not put me here to be abused.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But during the time of non-abuse, you still have some sort of obligation. What are a woman's obligation what are the woman's obligation in the marriage?
What are a woman's obligation in marriage? She's to respect her husband. The Bible tells us that very clearly, that she is to respect her husband. And is there a running list? Are you asking for a running list? Because that will really depend on the household, right? Some households, the wife needs to work outside of the home. Some households, the wife works inside of the home. Some households, the wife does all of the cooking or the cleaning, or I mean, it really does depend on the couple. It depends on the needs of the family and the couple that is creating the family. So I don't believe there's any running list. I mean, there's some biblical principles, but to
What are those
say that
biblical principles that you would say?
is respect. She is to respect her husband. She's to honor her husband. She's to not be lazy. She's to be modest. Okay. So, yeah, there are some biblical principles that all women should be adhering to. That I can get with. But if this man wants a running list of she's to do this and she's to do this. It really kind of depends. Those specific things depend on the couple,
A
right? Because
man's we would say in particularly red pill space and women, I think generally, you probably heard this yourself. I know you have, that a man's duty, man's obligation, I'm using the terms interchangeably, is to be a protector, provider, and leader. Probably another, some would add a couple more P's in there, priest and whatever.
but
Priest and
then we've been debating, is his providing supposed to be 100%? That's what we've been debating these last 2 years, because there are a lot of women out here providing. So now what?
so, and those women and generally don't want those type of men. Generally, I think we said that they're open to it, and there's other research saying that when the women is the primary breadwinner, that their use of ED medications goes up because they feel emasculated, all this other type of stuff.
So again, what we once knew, and this is why we're saying men are checking out. Men had a formula, and that formula doesn't work anymore. Okay, 2 plus 3 no longer equals 5. So I know
what was the
you
formula
all
that
want
you're
to
saying
keep
that doesn't
saying
work
that,
anymore?
but now we're seeing that something about that formula is just not jiving anymore.
Okay. I was okay. You said that the formula isn't working anymore, but previous to that, you said that the pendulum is swinging back. What was the formula that wasn't working before?
I don't think it wasn't that it wasn't working before. I like the idea of men being primary or sole providers. That's the system I grew up under, and I like that.
Okay.
But for some reason, women, and there are women in your comment section right now that are going to say, no, we were abused, we were controlled, we couldn't have a checking account, we couldn't have a credit card, we couldn't get bills in our name, and all this other stuff. That's what they think wasn't working. I thought it was working just fine. That's the system I came up under, and that's the system in which I married. So I thought the system was working great, but there are lots of women who didn't think that system was working. And so now they've usurped that provide and protect. Nope, don't need you to provide and protect. I can provide and protect for myself. What else you got? So that's what modern day women are saying. I thought the system was working. It worked for my grandparents, it worked for my parents, it worked for me. But I'm telling you what other women are going to say, that now, and I have lots of girlfriends that say that. What else can these men do other than provide and protect? Because
Well, that's the
again,
question. That's the question. What else do you
right.
want them to do? What do you want them to do?
Well, women want more emotional support.
So be your girlfriends.
They just want more emotional support or more emotional intelligence. Some of them, how about this? And this, like I said, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. But some of them do want help around the house. Some of them do want help with the children. Some of them do want help with getting them to their sports and getting them in bed at night. And some women do want that, especially working women. So, like I said, I didn't grow up in that system. So I'm just telling you what I'm hearing other women say. I don't want that help. I want to sit at home with my kids. I want to take 100% care of my house. And that's what I did. But I'm telling you what other women are saying, women who work full time, women who have, these jobs and they work full time. That's what they want from their men, because they're saying, hey, I'm doing this job because I want to, or because I feel gifted to do it, or called to do it, or whatever. But I want to be married. I want to have a family. So I want an egalitarian marriage, which means we are going to split everything. We're going to split the household stuff, the kids stuff, the bill paying. We're going to split all of it. I don't want that. Okay, I've made that very clear. That's not the system that I was raised up under. But just understand that's where we are now.
I got you.
So,
I got you. Do you think that system, this new system, this 50-50 or whatever, what the term egalitarian marriage, do you think that is going to work?
No, I don't. And I think that's why women are starting to, cry about soft life and embracing femininity and all this, because it goes against their nature. No, I don't think it's going to work. It goes against their nature. So when people want to get back to God's original plan, when they want to get back to what's evolutionarily programmed in them, I think people will be happier. But they don't want to do that. They want to have all these options, and they want to, do all these things. And, like I said, I can't relate to it because that's not what I grew up with, and that's not what I had in my marriage. I had a very traditional marriage. So, like I said, but no, I think that's why women are tired of working. Can I be honest? Women are getting tired of doing men's jobs. Women are getting tired of doing things that men do. And I'm like, because you're not designed to do it. You're not designed to do it. You will lose your feminine glow. You will lose your feminine mystique. You will lose your sex drive. You will lose all the things that love men about you. So that's it.
Are women listening to that type of
Some of them are. I have some women that are listening to it. I have a wife right now who just told me today, I was so proud of her. She's like, Anita, I finally got the approval to go part time in my job. They have 3 children. She's married. And she's like, you were right. I needed to go part time. I should not be working full time outside of my home. My children are young. I said, good for you. I was proud of her. She did
by
listen.
approval from her job, approval from her husband?
Both. Both. And look, her husband told her she could quit altogether, but she says, no, I'm very passionate about what I do. I help people. So I just want to do it like 15 hours a week. And he said that was fine. So I'm proud of her because they came up with something that worked for them. And that's what every couple has to do. Like, I can't even give them the perfect blueprint. Like, I know what worked for me, but I can't even give them the perfect blueprint because every couple is different. So, yeah, but I'm just being honest with you. I didn't want to work full time. I didn't want to work all day and come home at night. That didn't interest me at all. And I'm thankful that I married a man who was like, yeah, I don't want that either. So, there you go.
That was the biggest mistake I made in my second marriage.
Yeah.
I should have had her stay at home. That was a big mistake.
She said yes. She said yes. 15 to 20 hours a week is perfect for me. I'm telling you, most women, if they could, they would work 15 to 20 hours. They would. Most women, but a lot of women tell me we can't afford it. He doesn't make enough money, or blah blah blah. And then I talk to women about changing their lifestyle. I say, okay, but are you willing to take down your lifestyle? And so, if a woman is not willing to live within a man's means, now it's on the woman. So,
That I was going to say that what they're really talking about is lifestyle. They want to be able
right.
to live in a certain house in a certain
And
neighborhood, take certain amount of trips,
yep,
go to the spa, go get massages once a month. That's what they're talking about.
yeah.
That's what they're
And I
talking
agree with you. I agree with you. I tell them the same thing, that you have got to prioritize what's really important. For me, my children are more important than pedicures, massages, travel trips, Gucci bags. My children trump all of that. Okay. Driving a BMW and any other thing that, if it's not in my husband's means to take care of, I don't need it. But that's me. Okay. So I do talk to women about that you would have to live within that man's means. And then you could live the soft life. But then, how about this? You have women that want the soft life, but don't want to do the role that they're in. So, oh, yeah, I want to be a housewife. They don't cook. They don't clean. They don't want to watch their own children. What? Huh? Isn't that your role? If his role is sole provider, what's your role? Like, it just don't make no sense. So,
So this is what I'm saying. We're living in a spoiled time, right? Where people, they just want the soft life without having to do anything, right? You can't cook, can't clean. Other people are
right,
watching your kids.
right.
That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna
It's
work.
not. It's not. This comment right here. Where did she say? My husband and I wore the same tracksuit in the 90s for me to stay at home. I know that's right. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's real right there. Wow. That is real.
All right, I kept
Okay.
you on here long enough. Here we argued about the Obamas and about
Okay.
duty. All right. So
Have
what do
your
you got?
have your folks weigh in. They're gonna weigh in on this video. They're gonna leave comments. Let them weigh in. Let them
Yeah.
weigh in and let them. I just, I have adopted a new stance this year and every year moving forward that I will not be a part of the problem. I will not be a part of the assumptions or the conjectures. I will not make up negative stories about people unless I have all the information. And let me tell you, that's a big commitment because I was one of the many people that loved to give my opinion and my thoughts about things before I had all of the information. But I'm not doing that anymore. I've made a commitment that I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to wait over these next coming weeks. I'm hoping, maybe something will come out, maybe we'll get clarity. And then, we can say, oh, she said it was because of this, and then we'll know. And then we'll know. And maybe it is like you said, she just didn't feel like going or she don't like Trump. Okay, then maybe I can speak on it.
All right. Well, if she says that, you definitely come back up here, and we're gonna have a
Yeah,
chance.
because I'm be like, well, I mean, okay, your moderators are doing a great job.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So just the final count here for the poll here is that 53% said no, she shouldn't go. So it's been
Okay.
pretty even. So
Okay.
now
So it
they're
was,
saying,
there you go.
yes, I
Oh, and you
appreciate
got
that.
70 likes. Okay, we're getting there.
Yeah. So what do you got coming up? And tell us
Okay.
about your channel, where we can follow you at, and all that kind of stuff.
All right. So my channel is Better Love Movement. And it ain't for everybody, right? I don't want everybody over on my channel. Can I be honest? It's not for everybody. The next big project I have coming up is called School, SKOOL. It is a platform in which creators, influencers, people in the space, they will create a school, their own personal or private school. Some of those schools are free. Some of them have a subscription amount. Mine does. Mine is not free. It is a paid subscription every month. But it is a place for men and women to come together to learn healthy relationship skills and tools. It is for people who are relationship ready or want to get relationship ready. And you're going to learn all kinds of different relationship skills and tools, but it's also giving you the opportunity to meet other relationship ready singles. So this is a healthy space. I have moderators in this space where they are going to make sure that it's keeping the negativity out. It is keeping the nonsense out of this space. But this is for people who want to get ready or are ready. They're ready to meet someone. They're ready to, it's called Single Seeking Soulmate. And so it's for people that want something real. They want something genuine and they want to be in a healthy space with other people who want something real. So it is called School, SKOOL. The link is going to be in the description over on my channel. And the school is called Single Seeking Soulmate. That's the name of it.
Single Seeking Soulmate.
Yep.
Let me put that in the chat here. If I can spell it right. What is the singles? What?
So Singles Seeking Soulmate. It's got all them S's.
Soulmates or mate?
Soulmate. Just mate. And so remember, this isn't for everyone. Okay? Can I be real? This is probably for 10% of people. Most people, are not. Most people are not seeking a soulmate or a heart mate. Most people are not interested in learning and growing and becoming their best self. Most people do not want to join a platform like this and actually learn and grow and interact with other people who are doing the same. Most people are not interested. So the goal is the funnel, right? So whoever comes in, but it slowly starts to filter out the people that are actually sincere, the people that are actually really trying to get ready to find their person. That is the goal of the platform.
Gotcha. Understood. And so I appreciate you all who are still chiming in. And somebody said something about we had a good
It's our
show.
duty to keep
Temperatures
the
rose, but we
comments
kept it class.
rocking. Yep.
Listen, man, I'm going to do the best I can to keep it classy. Both of us have
Yes.
some reputations we're trying to do, and I don't do this whole yelling back and forth and stepping
Yeah.
over each other and all that. I don't do all that stuff. So
And we need more of that. We need more dialogue, right? We can agree, we can disagree. That does not mean we cannot continue to dialogue. So if anything, let us be a good example of, two Black people that can have a healthy dialogue. We can disagree. Like that's okay. Yeah,
because it's our duty to do that, right?
that's it. That's it. She said, look, she said, it's our duty to keep your comments rocking.
All right, y'all.
doing
Hit the
good.
like button, like, share, subscribe. Let me put this up here again. This singles seeking soulmate.
Yep.
So link for the there's no link yet, right? There's no
Not
link
yet. It's gonna, and when it does come, it's gonna be on my page, but you're gonna see it all over Instagram and YouTube. I'm gonna post it several times a day, all day. Yep.
All right. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna call it. So 51% said no. I'm gonna end the poll here.
Okay.
Let me see here. Where is it at? Make sure I got all the cash apps and stuff.
Good. This was good.
Somebody else sent me a cash app too. If you Steven sent me a cash app, so I'm gonna acknowledge him.
Excellent. There we go.
So the last of it is should Michelle have attended the inauguration? 51% said no, 48% said yes. Only 68 people voted. Come on, y'all gotta do better than that.
Yeah.
And it was 76 likes. 50-50. Let's see. All right, so that's it. So Miles had asked I'm not doing another show on Sunday. I do want to get back to Sundays, but until February 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a guest coming on, Dr. Marsh. Forget it.
Okay.
She's gonna kill me. Dr. Marsh is coming on. She wrote a book kind of similar to the one we read before.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Super Bowl is February 9th, and then after that, I'll probably keep up with the Sunday schedule. But I like doing the midweek ones. I'm getting a lot of attention with these, so
good.
I want to try to do them twice a week, Sundays and maybe Wednesdays or so.
All right, there you go.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. I really, really appreciate you coming up on the show.
Have a good night. Yep.
All right. You too. All right. We'll see y'all. You can, I know you got to go. You can go. I'm going to say goodbye to the people and stuff.
All right. So. Good night.
All right. Should have her former husband in comment. Excellent show. Good night. Yeah. Good night. Yes. The midweeks are awesome. Yeah. I'd like to keep that up. So. All right, I think I got everybody's comments. Thank you so much for the cash apps and for the super chats. I really, really appreciate those. Cash apps more because I shouldn't say this out loud. I don't really claim those, but I appreciate that, and thank you to the moderators. So the job description for the moderators is just make sure there's no craziness going on in the chat. I haven't had any trolls, and just if you could just encourage people to hit the likes and all that kind of stuff. But that would be it. So. And anyone else who I see who's pretty regular, I think High Vibe, somebody else is pretty regular too. I got you. Somebody else was pretty regular. I can't think, but I'll hit you up. Let's see what else. Mike David says, I just want to inform you, Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. And listen, as a Giant fan, I do not care. As a Giant fan, I do not care, but they probably will. It'll be 3 in a row, right? It's the first time done in history or something. I can't see anybody stopping them, quite honestly. Although Washington blew out. Who they blew out? Detroit. I thought Detroit was going to win. They blew them out. Man. So you never know. Any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday. I'll get the Dr. Pepper next time. See you later. Pearson Pink swing here. Yeah. All right, y'all. So we'll see you. We've been on for 2 hours and 23 minutes. Make sure you guys head over to where you listen to audio podcast at and listen to those. Yeah, you know, the great Patrick Mahomes, man. They got to protect his legacy there. The great Patrick Mahomes. So, no, but he is a good quarterback. So, let's see. So I got everybody else. I want Jaden Daniels to win as long as Josh Allen doesn't. I like Josh Allen. We'll see. All right, y'all. Much love and peace. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you.